What we started thinking about is how to get a car on a low loader, shoot outside at night, but put a lighting rig above the car. Basically, not have what most cars scenes have when they're actually driving on location at night, which is just some fill. It never looks realistic, it just looks like there's a Kino flow somewhere in the car. So I wanted something far more dynamic. And we ended up using a bunch of lights, tungsten lights, and that was quite difficult because you just don't have the generator power and you don't have the controls. But we spent a lot of time on the back of a low loader with Jules and a dimmer, and each of us having a dimmer and just doing things to suit. Set up 3 cameras, especially given that Steve wanted to do all 72 pages of the script every night, and then do that for 3 nights, and that's pretty much the largest chunk of what the material was. We started working with RGB LEDs and basically lights that we could manipulate with a dimmer board, but with much less power. We went out and we just filmed what you got out of street lights at night, kind of looked at it, looked at the colors, looked at how fast it moves, etc. And then we kind of built a rig with LED lights, and we did it still. And we started programming with Chris Craig, our dimmer operator, and we said, give us 12 chasers that emulate these things. What we ended up doing is doing a kind of third test where we went out at night with a double in a car and tried to see if we could, we had basically about 15 or 16 presets of different chasers and colors and speeds, etc., that we created while still, and we tried them while driving. On the day, basically, we had some pre-programmed ideas, and literally Jules would sit there like a DJ with me next to him, and I'd say, number 3 or number 4, and that was based on what we saw was coming in from either the environment or actually from listening. Because the dialogue's so fantastic, I started looking just down on the kind of ground and just listening. And I think for me, the dialogue and Tom's voice started dictating whether we would go with a faster program of a chase of lights, or a slower one, or a certain color. And it became apparent that what we should do is do emotional lighting for it rather than realistic. So that's how that came about.